Hey YouTube, this is a different video from my channel. This is going to be a little bit about how pop music works. I've been playing around with some pop music, chords and progressions and a little bit of theory. And I'm kind of bored, so I figured I might as well do a video. My friend's guitar that I got here, it's a pretty nice, it's a nice Yamaha. What's the model? It's actually a nice guitar. I don't really into acoustics. Yamaha LLX 36C. It's actually really nice. Nice guitar. Probably worth a few bucks, I'm sure. It's pretty dinged up, but it sounds great. There's a pattern in pop music, a pattern in music altogether. This isn't really like a beginner video, and it's not really an expert video, and by any means am I an expert. But I know enough to get by. I've taught some people some stuff, you know. But I think everybody knows this is like high school level. This would be like what? This is the shit I learned when I was in high school, okay? And, you know, this works on all instruments too, but it involves, this is going to involve some the theory behind scales, all right? Because that's, you know, basically how it works. This will apply to any kind of instrument as well. I just happen to be using the guitar. We all remember when we were kids, you know, do, re, mi, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I can't really sing that well, so you have to excuse me. But the way a major scale works in music, it's just a pattern. So you start with a note, okay? Okay, this is a C. Now this guitar is tuned down. Okay, that note right here, the top string. Okay, that's E flat. And the reason I do that, I have it's supposed to be E. Okay, so it should sound like this. But I have it tuned down to that because it's easier for me to sing. And lots of people do that. And then I have, you know, my capo. If I want to play along to standard pitch, I just put a capo there and now it's an E. Okay, but for this, it's E flat. But I'm going to refer to it as like E. Okay, and this is going to be C. Even though it's on a tuner, it's not a C. That makes any sense. Already confusing. This is a C note, okay? And for a major scale, the pattern for a major scale is you start with what's called your root note, and then you go up a whole tone. The guitar, each fret is a half tone, so there's a half, and here's a whole tone. See the difference? Half, whole. Okay? Each fret's a half tone. Works on the piano, snoozophone, or anything, okay? Now, the pattern for a major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So, on the guitar, any note, you go, start with your note, you go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay? Once again, start with your note, and then you go up, you follow the pattern after you play your first note. Okay, and that's straight up the neck. Okay? You can play it across the strings like this. Okay? Same thing. There's your do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, same thing. So it's just whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay? That's the same note. 7 different notes, but that's a C, that's a C. Now the reason we're starting off with a scale is because we're going to number each note. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one is 8, which is the same note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then 8. Same note, an octave apart. Okay? Now, when you're shaping chords, when you shape chords, now the reason I'm using C is because we're not going to involve any sharps or flats here. So it's going to be all the notes in the C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Whoops. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's why we're using C. Just makes it easier. So on the piano, it's all the white keys, no black keys. Okay. Now, in order to play in key, to make it sound right, there's only you just can't put any chords down and make them sound good. There's a pattern. Okay. Now, for each one of these notes that I'm playing, there's chords that go behind it. Okay, so for the play in the key of C, to play your chords, okay, it always goes on your first. In the first note, it would be major, so it's a major C major, so it's a major chord, and the next chord, so you go C major, all right, and the next note is a D. So the second position is always going to be a minor. So the pattern for to play in key is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and then what's called open. Okay, so to give you an example, I'm going to play the scale. And now I'm going to play the chords that correspond to each note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So we go C major, and then D minor, and then E minor, and then F major, and then G major, and then A minor, and then like a B open, which would just a weird kind of B, all right, and then back to the C. All right, so those chords, if you play those chords, oops, they're all in the key of C. Okay. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because pop music follows a specific pattern. Okay, so if we know, I'm going to show you a little diagram here. I'm going to try to get it up. This is a book that I bought years ago, but just look at the chord chart on the top, and it explains it all for you. So there's all your different keys, your major right there, and then follow across, and it shows you the corresponding chords to play in that key. So there's D, there's your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And you look at the notes, C, D, E, top row, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Okay? And I got little numbers written above them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those numbers are there to show you the positions. You just lock on that, and you can follow it across if you want to. It's a great little book. It's not in production anymore. It's not printed. Now, pop music follows a pattern. Now, what it does, they'll use 4 chords. And what you do is you take the first note, the 5th note, the 6th note, and the 4th note. So it's called 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. You find those notes of the major scale, and you play the corresponding chord for that note. Okay? So in the key of C, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So 1 is the first one. So 1 and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, D, E, F, G. So we go C, then we go G, because it's 1, 5, and the next one is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? And when we look at this diagram, look at that diagram. 1, the 6, it shows the 6th position is minor. Okay, so the 6th one across is a minor chord. So in this case, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, and then you go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, D, E, F. Okay, so you're playing a C note, a G note, an A note, and an F note. Okay, a C note, a G note, an A note, and an F note. Okay, so listen to it. So that's the pattern. The notes from the scale, here's your scale, and here's the notes from that scale in the order the pop music uses them in, right? And now we want to play the corresponding chords that fit behind those notes. So if you go to that chart, okay, your first note is a C, the first position. Okay, the next one is the fifth position, which is the G, which is G major. So C major, G major. And then we go 6, which is a minor. The sixth position is always minor. Okay. So we got A, minor. And then the fourth, which is always going to be major, which in this case is F. So together they sound like this. Okay, so that pattern is about 50 different pop songs, hit pop songs too, like friggin' U2, With or Without You, oh my god, I could go on and on and on. I don't know half of them because that's not really my style of music, but it's just cool. The theory behind it's cool. I'm going to try to sing something. I'm not very good at it, but I can think of a perfect song for this. An old Tracy Chapman song. You just hum along, right? So there's an example of your I'm going to put a link below to a comedy skit. I think it's called Axis of Anarchy. I forget the name of it, but I'll put a link down there to a video of this comedy troupe that plays those 4 chords, and they'll play the same chords, but they'll sing along to like 30 or 40 different pop songs, and it shows you how that chord progression actually works with all these different songs. Okay, so it's, again, this is in, for trying to make it simple, but I'm just rambling here. Key of C. Right? You can play around with it. Same chords, just a little different, little rhythm to it. Instead of just going. Okay? So again, it's just C, G, A, F, right? So it's just 1, 5, 6, 4, which is based off of these notes. Okay? So your do, re, mi, fa. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? Looking at this chart. Okay, first one's always major. Second and third are always minor. 4 and 5 are always major. 6 is going to be minor. And the last one is your funky one, the 7th position, which is always called an open or a diminished chord. They sound kind of weird. Unresolved, they call it. It's jazzy, But for pop music, there's like a shit ton of songs you can play like that. All right? I've never tried to do any of these videos before, so I said, what the hell, right? But anyway, I'm just going to put it up there and, check it out. There'll be a link down below. Check out that link. I may put a few in there, I'm not sure, but it just shows you these chords and like how they all fit together. So it's it just creates the pattern of those chords creates a certain feel, I guess you could call it, which is your traditional pop music. Okay. All styles of music do this, but not with these chords. Like, this is an example. We're going to go off track here. We'll get away from pop music. Think of blues, for instance. Blues uses a different progression, okay? But most blues songs are just... there's like every Zeppelin album, you know what I mean? Same idea, okay? They use the same pattern, okay? And you can play them anywhere you want, start anywhere, just follow that pattern, okay? And there's your blues songs, you know? Country music, I'm sure, which I'm not a big fan of, does the same kind of shit. Anyway, just a little basic pop music theory, you know, confusing as hell, but, you know, that's what it is. Yeah, a little different video for this channel. I've been playing a lot of music lately, so I just wanted to show something of what I've been working on, which is something I don't usually do, is that style. But it's just interesting, you know. I always love music, but where this is a little unique. So, it's unique for me, but it's not. It's just interesting. It's just patterns. And I know that's what makes it fascinating. It's just these simple patterns, understanding the basis of a scale, understanding the basis of how to play in key, and to follow a certain pattern, 1, 5, 6, 4, okay, and then you can create friggin' pop music, you know, as simple as that. Well, simple to some people, but you know, this might either confuse the hell out of you, bore the hell out of you, whatever, you know, but it's just a little bit of theory about how music works. You know, it's just math, it's just patterns, and this applies to all different instruments. You can apply this theory to whatever you want, it'll work. Anyway, I'll pop this up there. Thanks for watching. Check out some of the links down below. You might get a kick out of them. Everyone take care.